What if social media didn't leave us anxious, angry, or divided, but hopeful? What if scrolling became a spiritual practice instead of a source of despair? Today's guests believe that the digital space can be a place of kindness, faith, and encouragement, and they've built an app to prove it. Welcome to Becoming Bridge Builders, a podcast where we explore how people are building bridges across differences, despair, and division to create space of connection, healing, and hope. On this show, we believe bridge building isn't just something you do in person. It's something you're designed to do into systems, communities, and even with technology. Today, I'm excited to welcome Gerald Jones to the podcast, one of the co-creators of Blessn. Blessn is a movement of hope in a scrolling world, an app designed to replace doom scrolling with faith scrolling, where kindness, encouragement, and hope rise to the top. Gerald is an Emmy award-winning writer and producer, and his partner, Kevin, is a longtime friend and business partner. For more than 20 years, their friendship, shared values have fueled creative collaboration. Out of that relationship became Blessn, a platform rooted in faith designed to shift the culture of social media by celebrating what is good, uplifting, and life-giving.
Hey, you awesome folks! Thanks for taking this journey of discovery with your guide, Keith Haney. You're listening to the Becoming Bridge Builders podcast, your favorite podcast for everything from racial reconciliation to education innovation, justice reform, and leading change in the 21st century. This podcast is for people who love to be challenged with difficult topics, but want practical solutions to solve these challenging issues. Becoming Bridge Builders makes change possible. Each week on the podcast, Keith invites innovative thought leaders to share how they are building bridges in their area of expertise. You will hear breakthrough ideas and concepts that are changing the world. He's featuring guests who are best-selling authors, leaders at Microsoft, entrepreneurs, leading educators, professors, lawyers, and so many more. Listen in to learn how you can be the bridge to the change you are seeking.
Gerald, welcome to the podcast.
Oh, I'm excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
Looking forward to it. Anyone who can design something and get it to market, I'm excited for you. So
Thank you.
should be a fun conversation.
Oh, I know it's going to be fun.
So I'm going to ask you my favorite question to get us warmed up. What's the best piece of advice you've ever received?
Well, this is one when I was just a kid, and I've always lived by this, and I even tell my kids this to this day. So it's stuck with me. So I think this is the best advice I got. And it's, if you believe it and you can conceive it, you can achieve it. And I learned that from Father John back when I was like 8 or 9 years old, and it stuck with me, and it gave me the ability to dream because I believe this, and I conceive it, then it can be done. So that's something that stuck with me, and I tell my kids and anybody who's close to me, I give them that advice.
I love that. I've heard that before. It's always great advice.
Yes.
So Blessn was born in a digital landscape dominated by outrage and negativity, especially in today's culture. What personal experiences made you realize something different was needed?
Well, I think we all started feeling this recently, where social media, it started out fun. It was just friends connecting, doing silly dances, and then it started to get, they started being rewarded for outrage, rewarded for compromising your values or doing dirty tricks on people. And you start to feel negative. I started to feel anxiety. I'd go to bed and I'd be scrolling right before I went to sleep. And then I'd have bad dreams, or I'd get anxious. The next day I'd wake up and I'd feel anxious. So I felt there had to be a change. And that's what, really brought us to saying, we got to do something. We got to change this world because social media is here to stay. I mean, the genie's out of the bottle. We're not putting it back. It's here.
Yes, that's so true. I'm curious, you and Kevin designed this together. Tell us about your friendship and how did you guys work together to design this?
Well, me and Kevin have been friends over 20 years. We met backstage at the Academy Awards. We weren't winning an award. We just were both working there. I got in through Debbie Allen, who's a choreographer. Everybody knows Debbie Allen.
Oh, yeah.
And, I was interning for her, and then she called me up one day and she was like, "Hey, do you want to work at the Academy Awards?" And I was like, "Yeah." So that was 20 plus years ago. And then I met Kevin backstage. We just started chatting backstage. We had a lot of the same interest, and that's when our friendship first started. And I think having that foundation of friendship for the past 20 years, it made it possible to do businesses like Blessn, is because it's not ego driven. There's been a long standing relationship where we kind of can read each other and we know when somebody needs help on something or when somebody's struggling with something. And so having that, it's not something that's forced. It's not something that's fake or manufactured. It's like a true friendship that built over the years to help us create Blessn.
Why is it important for you to have this app be more than just a positivity platform?
You know, I was at a college yesterday. It's a Christian university out here in Los Angeles. And I thought it was really important. We were talking to the students. We had a booth set up and we were like giving away prizes and introducing people to Blessn. And what I kept hearing is how it's such how social media is so bad on the mental health and how these young generation are really suffering with these mental health crises because they're comparing each other online or they're in order to get attention, they have to do something that goes against their values and they're compromising their own values. So that's what really made me believe in Blessing was like, yeah, this is what we need. This is what the world needs right now is positivity. And when you hear direct feedback from like right face to face direct feedback from students, the intended audience of this young generation, you know that you're on the right path.
I love that, and it's so true. You created a term I'd never heard before until I got your promo. I've heard about doom scrolling, but define for me what faith scrolling is.
You know, actually, Kevin came up with that one, so I will give him credit.
Okay.
I like to take credit for some stuff, but that one I got to give it to him. And it's funny. He didn't even say it as like this is going to be our thing, faith scrolling. We were just talking about doom scrolling, and he was like, "We need to replace it with faith scrolling." And I was like, "That's it. We're going with faith scrolling." That is like, I don't think there's a better way to say what our purpose was faith scrolling. And that's what Blessn is. I mean, it works like any other social media platform, TikTok or Instagram. It's all short form video content. It's all user generated content, but it's something that's uplifting, something that when you scroll, you're going to feel good about, not feel anxious after you scroll. So that was like really the base of what we were doing. And already we've got like tens of thousands of people using the app. And I know you were scrolling on it earlier today. There's some really fun people on there. The content's great. So I mean, it's like I love how people have already embraced it and use it for what it's meant to be used for.
Now here's a tough question. With
All right.
every platform, it starts out sometimes with either innocent or good intent. How do you make sure that the content on Blessing doesn't take a dark turn? I mean, is there you have to have some kind of filters, and how do you work that so that you aren't getting into the whole First Amendment thing and
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, we have listed in our terms of service, which nobody ever reads anyways, but the
right.
but there, luckily so far people haven't tried to infiltrate us with like some negative content. But we do have a couple of filters in place. We have an AI feature that will look for nudity, look for bad words and flag these type of things and bring it to our attention. But we also have a staff that works 24/7, including myself. I'm on that staff working 24/7, just looking at content. New content comes up, and I don't mind doing it because I love being on Blessing. But we'll go through the content. If we see something that looks a little bit off or something that's not aligning with the values of Blessing, we'll immediately flag them, contact the creator, and say, hey, this doesn't meet our values or this doesn't meet our platform standards. And they can either fix it, delete it if, maybe it wasn't intentional. And if they keep violating it, then they get removed.
No, that's good because I'm just thinking, for every good thing, there's always 4 or 5 bad actors. So I'm just kind of
Yeah.
curious how you do that.
We knew that somebody at some point is going to try to be the bad actor just because they see something positive and they're going to be like, let's see if I can ruin the fun for everybody.
Right. How are you getting the word out? Because it's always hard to get breakthrough with so many different social media content creators, places. How are you breaking through all the noise so that Blessing gets elevated to prominence?
Well, we're doing a lot. We're doing a lot of the on the street thing. Back in the days, I grew up in like the 90s, 80s, and 90s where they had street teams out there when they were breaking a new record or trying to expose things before the internet. So we thought it was important to get right down into the colleges and universities, meet with the kids, let them see who we are, tell them exactly what we're about. So I think a lot of people are blinded by so many ads. They get ads and they just scroll away, scroll away. I mean, we do have ads out there because somebody's going to see an ad and be like, "Oh, this is what I'm looking for. I'm feeling bad. I want to try this out." But on top of that, we're also out there in the streets. We're doing community events. We're going to youth organizations. We're giving them Blessn hats and we're giving them Blessn sunglasses and like free swag and just showing up with like lunches. So I think out there with the community is how we're starting out, and we've only been live for like maybe 3 to 4 months. So I think out there on the street and just shaking hands and getting to know people has been really effective so far.
Awesome. So tell me a little bit about the design of it. Tell me what give me the behind the scenes look for the tech people who love the tech part. Give me the behind the scenes.
Oh, yeah. Now this was a journey. This app took us 2.5 years from the conception, the idea, to launch. And then,
I
of
mean,
course,
you didn't just go on Chat GPT and tell them to create it?
oh, this is before ChatGTP as far as
Oh.
I know. This is we started this thing, there wasn't that kind of AI, at least readily available to us consumers. So, I mean, this was an uphill battle. This was an uphill battle. We knew what we wanted. We had this vision in our head of what we wanted, but it was so hard because, you're building something and you see it and you're like, "Oh, no, that's not right." So 2.5 year journey, from start to launch, and then we did a soft launch back in, November, December, just to kinda test it and get the bugs out. And the fun thing about Blessing is we're always developing. We're never not developing something. We actually updated the app today, so if you downloaded, 30 minutes ago, you need to re-download it because we just do another update on there, and we have another update. We're meeting tomorrow. We got some really cool features coming, in the next update, so we're gonna start working on that. So I think that's the funnest part is when you build something and then it starts kinda growing and evolving, and you start saying, "Wow, this is really, like, flourishing and people are really embracing it," but also you keep it fresh by always introducing new things.
So for those who are familiar with some apps, what would you say Blessing is most like? Is it most like YouTube, most like TikTok, most like Instagram, most like Facebook? How would you what area do you see Blessing fitting into?
Yeah, we're very similar to, I would say, TikTok and, Instagram, where it's all short form video. You can also post pictures if you like to, just like, Instagram, and that's how Instagram initially was just pictures. So we combine that, so you got the best of Instagram, the best of TikTok, but what makes ours a little more unique is that we created an opportunity or a way for, content creators to get paid from day one. So you don't have to have a huge following. You don't have to be some celebrity, but you can start monetizing your account immediately because what we offer is something called personalized messages of faith. And I've already seen people buying them and purchasing them for each other. We got some NBA athletes on there. We got, some singers on there. We got recording artists and all these fun people on there. And let's say your son or your daughter has a SATs coming up or a big test or is nervous about some event that's coming up. You can ask for a request a personalized message of faith, and it's just a few bucks, and you ask them to say a little prayer for your daughter, and they will send a personal message to your son or daughter or your friend or somebody who's in the hospital, just trying to brighten their day, just saying, "Hey, I'm Gerald. I'm from Blessn. I'm one of the co-founders of Blessn, and I know you're going through this, that, or the other. And I just want to say that God is with you." And then you kind of say a little prayer, and you just brighten that person's day. It's more personal than sending somebody like a Valentine's Day card or a Mother's Day card or something like that. So it's personal, it's fun, it's uplifting, and you're also supporting Christian creators. So it's like you're winning all the way around.
I love it. So if you're a Christian content creator like myself and you say, "Hey, this sounds really, really cool. How do I get started?"
Oh, it's the simplest thing ever. So to get started, you just apply like you would any other platform. You put your email address in, or so you can do it through your email address, and you'll get like a confirmation code that's to make sure that you're a real human being. Or you can, if you have an iPhone or a Google phone, You can apply using, there's like one button and you just press it and it's like, it has all your information stored already in your phone and it would just fill out all the form for you. And then you're on. You can start posting the same day. I think you can probably do it in less than 5 minutes and you can be already up and posting. And if you
Awesome.
decide to, you don't have to monetize your account. If you want to just use it for fun and just post a little while, or if you wanted to watch other people, you can do that. But if you decided to, you know what? I'm getting a lot of feedback. I'm getting a lot of requests. Let me monetize my account. You just turn that on with a click, a little switch on there. You turn it on and you set your pricing. Like for me, it's like $4.99. I don't know anybody wants to talk to me or what's a blessing for me, but it's like $4.99. And and that's it, as simple as that.
Wow. So tell me a little bit about, because we have so many people uh, in the Christian space. You run into all kinds of different theological beliefs. Do you have like a set of, you have to be this kind of a believer, or is it just kind of wide open in terms of the whole Christian space there?
It's wide open, and what's important also is that you may not be a believer. You may be wanting to tiptoe in to see what this is all about. So we're not gonna ask you, what your faith is or your background. You can join and you may not believe in Jesus. You may not believe in anything. You may be an atheist. You can join if you want uplifting content. And when you're here, you're gonna see people leading with love. And when you lead with love, you're gonna draw people in. So even if you don't believe, you're gonna start feeling the spirit. You're gonna start being drawn in. And it's a good way for Christian content creators or people of faith to outreach to people who may be curious about what this is or curious about Jesus and they don't know. And you're not going to find this stuff by talking to people on Instagram or TikTok or some of these other platforms because you're going to get engulfed with people getting hit by cars or a dog attacking somebody on a lady on the street or some weird stuff. So you come over here, you're a little curious, and you're going to see a lot of people with positive, uplifting spirits, and you're going to get drawn in.
I love what you're doing, and I love the fact you're creating community. In your mind, what kind of community do you hope Blessing creates going forward?
It's like peace. I want a peaceful community. I want people to realize that the world is a beautiful place. I think we spend so much time on social media, which rewards all this negative content instead of the positive content. You watch the local news. What do they say in the local news? If it bleeds, it leads. They don't put the good puppy stories up front. They put the car wreck. They put the plane crash. They put anything like negative. They say if it bleeds, it leads. And we grew up like that. That's how it was. So I thought it was important to make a space where people can come and realize the world is actually a beautiful place.
I love that. You and I both know that in the digital space, faith is really being pushed to the margins in the public space. Why is it important for Blessing to be unapologetically faith forward while still being welcoming?
Yeah, that was also important to us. I mean, we're not hiding anything here. The name of the app is Blessing. We're gonna be right up in your, right up in your face. This is what we are. Unapologetically, this is what we are. We're an app and we have Christian values. And if you don't like it and it's not for you, you don't have to come. And if you don't like TikTok, you don't have to go there or Instagram. But if you want to feel good about your day and you want to, feel good about life in general, you're going to visit Blessn. And you don't even have to sign up. You don't have to put your information in. If you want to just tour Blessn without even signing up as a user, you can check it out. And if it feels like you belong here, it feels like this is my people, then jump on in and start posting and start sharing your faith and what encourages you and uplifting somebody else. I think I was talking to a student yesterday. This is funny.
Yeah,
And I was saying, when was the last time you did something for somebody so small that you didn't even realize what you did and it changed their life? And I think on Blessing, you can change people's life without even seeing them, without even knowing who it is. Somebody got a message on Blessing, it just changed your entire day, and the outlook just ripple effect all the way through the world.
I love that. Is there an age limit to be part of Blessing community?
No age limit. I think I don't know if we have anybody really young. I saw a kid who looks like he's probably 13 on there. And we got people all the way up to, 50s and 60s and above, I'm sure. Because there's so many users. So we got like tens of thousands of users. We look at the downloads like weekly and we're like always shocked, like, oh my gosh. It's like crazy how how many people embraced it so early because we were terrified when we launched this. And we don't have any backers. We don't have anybody like financing us. It's just me and Kevin taking out of our own savings and our own money and putting it all into something we really believe in. So seeing those downloads really feels good.
So I'm always curious for people like yourself who create apps like this. How do you guys make this profitable for all the effort you put into it?
Well, it's like building any community. When you build a house or you build a church, I mean, people of faith have built so many beautiful monuments, and when they go building these things, they don't think, "I'm gonna be rich." No, they built it to honor God. They honor, their vision, and they honor God. So right now, we're not making any money. We're making $0, and we may never make money, but we built something of faith. There's something that my kids are proud of, my mom's proud of, my aunts and uncles, everybody's proud of this thing that I built with Kevin. And that alone is just like I was put on this earth to do something, and I it was blessing. I didn't know, but all of these journeys that took me up to, you know, opening and launching Blessn, that all led up to that moment, I think, is that opportunity to launch something that we're really passionate about.
I love it. So for those content creators who want to be part of Blessing, what responsibility do they have in shaping the emotional and spiritual climate of that community?
That's a huge responsibility. And I think that's why Blessing is so important because everything is user generated these days. It's what my kids don't even watch TV. My daughter took her TV out of her room because she doesn't watch TV. She's either listening to music or she's on social media. And now she's on Blessed. But but it's such a huge responsibility, especially when you know that you're doing something positive as opposed to some of those negative trends that are out there. So you don't want to put those vibes in the world and you want to put some positivity in the world. And if you are a responsible creator, you're going to do something amazing and change people's lives.
That's awesome. So I'm going to ask you a bunch of lightning round questions here to kind of rapid fire.
All right.
One word you hope people feel when they use Blessing.
I'd say peace. I want them to come away feeling peaceful.
A daily practice that keeps you grounded.
It's I talk to God every single day, twice a day at least. I talk to him in the morning, I talk to him in the evening. And especially when I'm going through something that's rough, or I woke up this morning and I wasn't feeling like the best because my daughter's car had broke down and I had all these things on my plate today. But if you talk to God, just having a conversation with God is just going to make you feel so much better and just take a lot of that pressure off.
Is there a scripture or a quote or a phrase that gives you hope and sustains you?
This is another one. I told you the one that from Father John told me from when I was a kid, but this is another one I tell my kids also is, um, and I don't even know where I heard this. It might have been my dad. And it says, don't talk about it, be about it. And that's just
Mm,
take action. And that's what we did here at Blessing. We just like, we jumped. We didn't know if there was a market for this, but we just said, just jump and see what happens.
I love it. Coffee or tea?
Oh man, I drink coffee like 3 times a day.
I can tell, yeah.
Yeah. So,
One act of kindness that changed your perspective.
ooh, that's a good one. Oh man. I mean, I've been really blessed to have a lot of really kind people in my life. Um, I don't know. Let me think about that one. What's one thing that really changed me? Um, I think it's my family. I think it's my family just supporting me. They knew I was dumping a lot of time and effort and money to this, and my own kids, they knew this money could have went to them. This money could have went to them buying a new car instead of driving that old car that died on the road yesterday. So, I think that kindness of somebody believing in your vision is like priceless.
All right, fill in this blank. Hope to you is
Ooh, hope to me is, oh man, that's a tough one. These lightning rounds. I'm very slow with the lightning round. Let's see. What is hope to me? I think hope is love. I think if you love something and you're hopeful, I think it's all combined.
That's great.
Yeah.
This is not lightning round. This is just another question. But
All right.
what gives you hope when you look at the next generation of digital creators?
You know, I think what happens is I've already seen these people on Blessing and how they've already, and a lot of them are really young and look like they're in college or in their 20s. Seeing how they embraced it and seeing the message that they're putting out there and the stories, like we have an athlete on there. I think she runs college track and field, and she likes to post her fails. And then she has some encouraging words and some scripture to go along with it. So when you see that type of stuff and you start realizing that this is going to change somebody else's day, somebody else is going through the exact same thing. And then when they see it, that somebody else has gone and overcame those obstacles, I think it just encourages me that we're on the right path.
How do you hope Blessing influences a broader social media landscape?
I'm not sure how the other platforms will do or if it will affect them at all. And I'm not saying you need to stop using these other platforms, but if you want to cleanse and you want to get away from that stress and that drama, then you come over to Blessing. And if it starts growing and it starts expanding, I think people are going to realize that faith and hope and encouragement is actually um, a great thing. It's not all about leading with negativity. You can also lead and scale up with positivity.
Love it. I love to ask my guests this question. What do you want your legacy to be?
I think my legacy should be, my kids are my legacy. I try to instill in them all the values that I grew up with and then what I've learned. And I think Blessing is an extension of that. Is my legacy is that somebody who cared about the world, who wasn't like money first. It was always mission first, and that's what Blessing is. So I hope my legacy is somebody who is mission first over money.
All right. On this show, we have a surprise question number. Pick a number between 1 and 10 for your surprise question.
Oh, 7.
7. What is the worst job you've ever had?
Oh man, I had some pretty rough jobs, man. I was a plumber. I was a paper boy. I, if there's a job out there, I've done it. Car wash. I think all my jobs were pretty fun, but I think the worst job I had was when I was a paper boy. And I used to deliver newspapers in the San Bernardino Mountains.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, in the snow. In the
Oh
snow.
no.
Yeah, so I remember one time I got so close, I lost control, and I started skidding towards the side of the mountain,
Oh
and
no.
thank God it stopped. I got out, I looked how close I was like maybe 6 inches from going over, and I was so young, I was a kid, so I was so young, it didn't affect me until I got home, and I was like, "Oh, man, that was close." So so that was a tough job because it was cold, it was in the middle of the night or super early in the morning, and I almost went off the side of the cliff one year.
Yeah, that'd have been my last time. I'd have turned around and went home at that point.
Yeah. At that age when you're 20, you think you're invincible. I was less than 20. I was just a kid. I was like, you think you're invincible at that age.
Yeah, no. We'd have been like, yeah, you could get your own paper.
Yeah, right? So, yeah, I had some crazy gigs back in the day.
So, Gerald, where can people find you? More importantly, where can they can find Blessed and download it and share it with other people so they can also be blessed by this?
Well, you can find me on Blessn. That's Blessn. And it's on all the app stores. So if you have Google or the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store, you just download it. Everything, it's free to download, free to use, free to sign up, and free to follow me. So if you're listening and you want to follow me and see my silly content, check me out on Blessn.
And if you're a content creator, check out Blessed. It'd be a good way for you, especially as a Christian, to kind of share your gospel message with the world.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, Gerald, thank you so much for your friendship, your faith, your courage, and image to imagine something better in a noisy, busy world. For our listeners, if this conversation stirred hope in you, we invite you to download the Blessing app, experience faith scrolling for yourself, and share it with someone who could use encouragement today. Please subscribe to Becoming Bridge Builders, leave a review, help us continue amplifying stories like Gerald's and build bridges instead of walls. Until next time, keep choosing hope, keep practicing kindness, keep being blessed. Thank you so much, Gerald.
Thank you.
Do you know that most entrepreneurs hit a revenue ceiling and have no idea why? They're working harder, spending more money, running more ads, but revenue stays flat. My friend Dr. Noah St. John calls this the invisible break. He's giving our listeners a free revenue ceiling audit to help you see what's really holding you back. You'll get a free 30-day membership to NoahBot, giving you access to Dr. Noah's 30 years of experience to help you reach your next level. But hurry, because there's only 50 available this month. So if you're tired of being stuck at the same revenue level and want to finally break through, get your free revenue ceiling audit at drnoahvault.com in the affiliate link that'll be listed in the show notes.
Thanks for listening to Becoming Bridge Builder. If you enjoyed this episode and want to help support the podcast, please subscribe and share it with others. Post about it on social media or leave a rating and review. To catch all the latest from me, you can follow me on Instagram at bkeithhaney and on Getter and Twitter at RevHeadpin. Thanks again and tune in next time.